Welcome back, everybody. Dave, AVQ, SC, and C, back for another edition of our Power Rankings. These are Power Rankings after week number 2, powered by the world-famous Gizmo. Gizmo's world-famous Power Rankings. Disclaimer, as always, these Power Rankings do not include Thursday's Jaguars-Titans game, as that counts towards week number 3. Alright, welcome back, folks. Starting out with the bottom half of the league, sitting at number 32, not moving anywhere, are the Miami Dolphins. Gizmo says, no new words, going to be an ugly season for the Fish. Things are not looking good for them. They are bouncing back and forth between quarterbacks, as I think Josh Rosen has been named the starter for this coming week. They traded away Minka Fitzpatrick to the Steelers, so it's not looking good. Number 31, the New York Giants, staying in the same spot. Gizmo says, new quarterback Daniels to start. Let's see if he can bring a spark or a move too early. Defense, yeah, these guys, saving grace is Saquon Barkley. They get the Bucks this week, so it's the best of the worst here. We'll see which team can come out on top. Number 30, moving down 3 spots, are the Cincinnati Bengals. Gizmo says the only positive is wide receiver Ross, who's leading the league with 270 yards. Ross has been tearing it up, but the rest of the team is just horrible. Number 29, the Washington Redskins, down 1 spot. Gizmo says the defense is getting picked apart, and McLaurin, the rookie wide receiver, is the only one who has stood out. Redskins look good for a half, for a quarter, can't pull it together for 4 quarters. That defense is susceptible to big plays and does not have the top-end speed to hang out with these quick wide receivers. Number 28, the New York Jets moved down 2 spots, down to 3rd quarterback Luke Falk. Crowder is a proven slot receiver, according to Gizmo. That Simeon injury looked horrible. I thought it was a lot worse than what it was going to be. Falk is not the answer for them. They need to figure out something. Bell had 21 carries, a whole bunch of yards. He looked elusive as ever, and they just cannot get it going. That O-line is just horrible. Number 27, Arizona Cardinals, up 2 spots. Cardinals offense can't score touchdowns in the red zone, according to Gizmo. Bright spot is kicker Gonzalez. It's not a good thing when the bright spot on your team is your kicker. Got to get that red zone defense, or that red zone offense down. Not going to win a game. Well, you can win a game with 5 field goals, but it's not going to happen very often. Number 26, down 6 spots, Carolina Panthers. Gizmo says the only positive on this team is the kicker, Sly, 6 of 7 field goals, 3 of 4 from 50-plus yards. Once again, it's not a good thing when the bright spot on your team is the kicker. They need to move on from Cam Newton. Number 25, Denver Broncos, down 6 spots. Gizmo says left tackle Bowles, 4 holding penalties, most anyone's had in 1 game. Broncos keep finding a way to lose, folks. They can get over that hump and pull out some victories here. They should be moving on up. Number 24 is the Tampa Bay Bucks, up 6 spots. Gizmo says the defense is the story for surprising Bucks so far with new linebacker Barrett. They faced 2 horrible teams, so they have not shown me anything. They barely won against a horrible Carolina team. They should not be this high. Number 23, the Jacksonville Jaguars, up number 1. Gizmo said quarterback Minshew has fumbled times, losing 1 on sacks, needs to work on that. You guys on the channel know I am on the Minshew bandwagon, even before Thursday's game. I think he has tremendous upside. Not many quarterbacks come in cold off the bench and go 22 for 25. And then the second game, he put him in a position to win. And then we'll talk about the Thursday game next week. But I am on his bandwagon. I think he can do great things. Number 22, Indianapolis Colts, up 3 spots. Rush for more yards than thrown, relying on the run game, says Gizmo. It's true. I mean, they have Brissett. They can't do a whole lot in the passing game. Brissett's probably going to have more rushing yards than a lot of their running backs. 21, down 6 spots, are the Pittsburgh Steelers. Gizmo says Roethlisberger's elbow injury out for the season, not looking good for the team. It's Mason Rudolph time, people. Time for him to show whether or not he's going to be their guy. It's what they needed. They got him out of Oklahoma State. He looked good in college, played against Patrick Mahomes, and fought him to a bunch of duels in college. If he can do it in the pros, then bye-bye, Ben. Number 20, the Oakland Raiders, down 2 spots. Gizmo says, looked good the first game, but disappeared against the Chiefs. Up and down team. Raiders are going to be another one of those teams that win against the teams they're supposed to, but will struggle against the playoff teams. Number 19, Detroit Lions, up 2 spots. Gizmo says the defense is improving, and they are running more. Stafford has returned to form. They're better at home. That's all there is to it. They play good at home. We'll see how they do on the road this week. Number 18, the Cleveland Browns, down 1 spot. Gizmo says OBJ with an 80-yard plus touchdown catch, but best player on roster is Garrett with 5 sacks. He is, but he also had 2 roughing the passer penalties, one that resulted in the injury of Simeon. So while aggressive is great, overly aggressive and out of control is not. Number 17, Buffalo Bills, up 5 spots. These guys are my sleeper pick of the year. Looking good in first 2 games, but can keep it up, says Gizmo. Time will tell. Like I said, they're my sleeper pick of the year. I picked them the first week. They're going to do better things as teams underestimate them, I believe. Number 16, Tennessee Titans, down 2 spots. Gizmo says cornerback Ryan has taken his game to the next level with 2 interceptions in 2 games. These guys are hard to tell, man. They look really good the first week, talking trash against the Browns, and then not so good the next couple. As I said, I think in the preseason power rankings, it all depends on Mariota. This O-line is not giving him any time to do anything. They're either going to have to put him in shotgun a whole lot more and run a bunch of draws with Henry, which is not his strong point, or do 3-step drops and play the Nick Foles offense where you get the ball out of your hands in 3 seconds. Top half of the NFL, number 15, Houston Texans, down 3 spots. Gizmo says the acquisitions of Hyde and running wide receiver Stills seem to be working out. Defense is tough also. They also got Laramie Tunsil, I believe. So I don't think it's so much as Hyde and Stills as it is the addition of Tunsil. Number 14, Chicago Bears, down 1 spot. Found their kicker, Pinheiro, 4 for 4. No doinks. Now, if only he could play quarterback. Trubisky, man. I saw a meme with 2 kids playing next to a trash can, and it said Trubisky was in the middle, dressed in silver. It's not, like, this team's not going to do anything if he can't get it together. They're going to end up 9-7 again, or 10-6, which isn't bad, but they could be so much better. Number 13, Los Angeles Chargers, down 6 spots. Gizmo says Eckler looking good, but had a costly fumble at the goal line. Cost team the win. So there's a reason Eckler was a backup, and Melvin Gordon was the starter. Everybody's putting a lot on Eckler, and yeah, he needs to step it up because he's a starter now. But he was a backup before this. There's a reason. Number 12, the New Orleans Saints, down 9 spots. And I think they're going to keep plummeting, but Gizmo says Breeze out 6 weeks, going to be tough for Saints. We'll see. They're going to go from an elite team who could beat any playoff team to just like the Raiders, beating the teams they're supposed to and struggling against the playoff teams. I see them maybe 9-7. Bridgewater's good, but even with his best Viking days, they were 10-6. Number 11, San Francisco 49ers, pole vaulting 8 spots. Gizmo says, don't expect the Niners to be road warriors with 2 wins out of the gates. Gizmo's not on the Niner bandwagon, apparently thinking they're going to go 3-0. They have a chance. It's Jimmy G. He's throwing off his back foot. Eventually, that's going to lead to problems. We'll see if it's this week or not. Number 10, Seattle Seahawks up 1 spot. Gizmo says, Metcalf, after surgery, is making an impact. Touchdown that helps Seattle win. Metcalf is a beast, man. We'll see how far he can take them. He's definitely helping out that passing game as they have needed a big-time wide receiver. Number 9, Atlanta Falcons up 7 spots. Gizmo says defensive tackle Davison and Jarrett next to him are keeping the running back from exploding. Falcons had a great D and a great offense in their Super Bowl run. We'll see if they're getting back to form or not. Number 8, the Philadelphia Eagles, down 3 spots. Gizmo says Wentz showed flashes of old self and then also showed why you can't count on him. This team is up and down with Carson Wentz. He got injured. They looked horrible. He came back. They started coming back. Number 7, the Minnesota Vikings, down 1 spot. Gizmo says the running back Cook has revitalized the offense when needed the most. It all relies on him. Like, they get the running game going. Their play action works. They are totally dependent on the play action. Cousins, once again, is showing why I was not high on him at Washington. He does not make good red zone decisions. That interception in the red zone shows why. Number 6, the Baltimore Ravens, up 2 spots. Gizmo says tight end Mark Andrews, second-year emergence with wide receiver Brown. I think it's just a product of everybody doubling the guys they know, so Andrews and Brown are coming open. That's going to change as the season goes on and these guys start getting thrown to more. But really, Jackson's throwing it to everybody. He doesn't care as long as they're open. Number 5, Green Bay Packers, up 4 spots. Gizmo says defense is what's propelling this team next to Pats allowing least amount of points. Yeah, the defense is definitely keeping them in the games. The addition of Preston Smith from Washington as a free agent. He's playing out of his mind. And these guys are rolling right now. Number 4, Dallas Cowboys, up 6 spots. 5 touchdowns out of 6 in opponent's end zone. Gizmo says a tough defense and explosive offense. So far, so good for the Cowboys. Dak's been almost perfect the first 2 games. There is going to be a letdown at some point. When it happens, who knows? Dak's playing for a huge contract, so he is motivated. Number 3, Los Angeles Rams, up 1 spot. Gizmo says wide receiver Kupp has to be the reason. 7-yard pass into a 66 catch and run. They have surely missed Kupp. They definitely missed him in the Super Bowl. Definitely would have been a much different game with Kupp in there. He's their possession receiver, gets things going, and can turn on the Jets when he has to. Number 2, staying the same, Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs will be a big play offense without Hill. A lot of talent on wide receiver. It's no surprise. Patrick Mahomes has a bunch of guys he can throw to. We're just finding out more about these guys without Hill being the focus of the offense. Having a running game now definitely helps them, as they don't have to throw it all the time. And last but not least, number 1, staying the same, you guessed it, New England Patriots. Gizmo says the defense is holding opponents to fewest yards and points in the league. No surprise the offense was going to be good, but this defense has been playing out of its mind. Can they hold it up for the whole 17 games, 16 games of the season? That remains to be seen. I still think the Patriots have a chance of going undefeated. And that is the power rankings after week number 2. A lot of these teams are showing what they're made of and how they're going to perform. There is room for turnaround for some of them, so we will see if they can do it. A lot of these teams get started slow and then make huge comebacks, runs during the season. We'll see if that holds true this year. Lots of quarterbacks injured, lots of players getting injured, so the teams are going to shake up in a very interesting way as this season plays out and the backups are starting to come in. I want to thank Gizmo again for doing these power rankings. Stay tuned. Next week, we will be doing another version of the power rankings after Week 3's games. Thank you all for watching. Have a great night and stay safe.